Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX automatic diesel. It's a 2011 with just 63,000 miles on the clock in very, very nice condition. Coming around the front of the car for you, very clean in the bumpers. Bonnet, again, only the lightest stone chipping on there, very, very light indeed. Coming down the near side first, passenger side, really, really clean in the panel work. No kind of obvious indentations or marks on there. Near side front alloy, very good. And then panel work, as I say, extremely clean. Near side rear alloy, again very clean. Just a couple of spokes with a couple of marks on those, but for an 11-year-old car, it's done very, very well indeed. Go around the back, again all very clean and tidy. Onto the off side of the vehicle, driver's side, again very, very crisp in the panels. Side rear alloy, again very clean, and then remaining panel work very good indeed. And then full set of matching Michelin tyres, which is always a nice sign of ownership in all honesty. But externally, one of the better examples you're going to see by a long way. Coming to the back of the car, full complement of equipment still here, which is nice to see. Got these middle shelves, you can take these out by the way. That does clip up there and come back down. If you want to though, this bottom section here is recessed there. This slots in there. I would advise you put them fabric side down to save them getting damaged. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely enormous amounts of leg room. And this is basically where CR-Vs and cars of their type tend to be very, very heavily used, because it's where the children sit, predominantly I should say. But this has been kept absolutely beautifully. So coming to the front and the passenger side, again all very, very clean and tidy. Leather work on the passenger seat there, sorry, exceptionally good. Finally coming in on the driver's door card, again generally very nice. Footwell area is very, very clean indeed. And the driver's seat, the one that should show a lot of wear for an 11-year-old car, shows virtually nothing. So finally coming inside the car now, engine's running as I always have, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. And dashboard is in absolutely fantastic condition. So there, sat nav working exactly as it should. I'll pop the car into reverse, that lovely clear camera all working exactly as it should there. But it's been kept exceptionally well, it really has. Sorry, so slightly shaky hands there. And then come across the main dashboard binnacle, and hopefully you can see 63,677 miles, and the only light currently illuminated is the fuel light on the car. It is in beautiful condition. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 EX automatic diesel. This car's registered RO11JWK and has just 63,669 miles recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's looking at any of our cars online, they actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, as with so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and a description, but only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the vehicle, so hence that's why we do it. Also done on these lovely quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. So the hope is then it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, it's been very, very well looked after. I think it's had 10 services in its time, so it's been done, on age rather than mileage. and it feels it straight away. It is as tight as a drum. It really is. Starts instantly, settles to a completely smooth and even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge is running into third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines, this 2.2 i-DTEC is a brilliant diesel engine. It's everything you'd expect of a Honda. It's tough, reliable, long-lasting, with just regular good maintenance. But that's only half the story, because it's actually a lovely engine to use. It's very, very smooth and quiet, very un-diesel-like actually in lots of ways, other than the fact that it gives you that lovely torque and urge that you get with diesels. But it hasn't got that kind of hard edge to it. It's very, very, very quiet and smooth in operation. And it works beautifully with the automatic gearbox, because the auto box, it doesn't always, auto boxes and diesels for some reason don't always go together terribly well, especially turbo diesels. Sometimes it's just that they can be indecisive, but this works brilliantly, and very well chosen ratios to obviously extract the most out of the engine in terms of performance and economy. And the gearboxes are incredibly tough and reliable. The box actually originates from the original Honda Legend, because Honda didn't have an auto box for the diesel at the time, which would have been tough enough to deal with the torque demands of the engine. So rather than develop a completely new box, they utilised the one out of the Legend, which is a far more powerful vehicle. And just goes to show why there's virtually never really have any issues with them at all. Well, we never have. So, gear changes on the move, smooth, slick. Because even, or notwithstanding rather, the fact that they got a reputation for being tough and reliable, you should still do the obvious checks on any auto box, which is basically make sure that on the move the changes are indeed smooth, but also when you select drive and reverse, there's no great clunks or delays in engagement, and it's perfect in all respects. Steering in the car, really, really nicely done. It's a lovely power steering setup, old school, feels absolutely fantastic. Steering, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit actually. What's nice about it is just the whole thing's very, very car-like. There's no kind of feeling you're driving some tall commercial type vehicle, as so many of its era seems to be like. So when you go through corners like the one in front here, which can be a bit challenging for someone who's quite sort of yumpy and off camber, turn in, minimal movement to the steering wheel, absolutely accurate and precise. Body control is brilliant in the car. You don't get a lot of kind of that lurching feeling you get with so many of its competitors, and it flows through corners really nicely, and that isn't suggesting for a second it's sporty, because it is not. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be, a way to get sort of families from A to B comfortably, and it does a brilliant job at it. But Honda know this market intimately. CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's pretty easy to see why. There's also absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything from the suspension, and steering the car, as I said, track's dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit actually. Just going to get up to a bit of speed and give the brakes a bit of a thump. No one's directly behind me. I don't think they are, so safety. Brake pedal's really good on the car. What I'm looking for in particular actually with automatics, there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, because the brakes are doing more of the work on the autos. Good driving a manual is going to give it more engine braking. There is engine braking to a degree in them, but it's not to the same extent. But all absolutely fine. So finally coming inside the car, worth pointing out it's not been cleaned yet. It hardly needs a clean. It's in lovely condition in here. What videos can never get across actually is how well built cars are. And this is I want to get my soapbox about these things, because it frustrates me, because when these cars are brand new, as they're given to the motoring press, and the motoring press judge cars, it would appear, for build quality on squidgy plastics and thunky sounding doors. Well, the doors sound solid. What is solid is the fact that there's no squeaks, no rattles. It's 11 years old. I know it's low mileage, but it's still 11 years old. And you get in a lot of their competitors, which were, you know, hailed as being, you know, the toughest, best built, you know, at the time. Build quality isn't that. That's what frustrates me. Build quality is, you know, how it's assembled, how it's put together, and how long it's going to last, as it was when it was new. And this is where these are utterly brilliant, but also very cleverly designed, because CRVs, ultimately, you know, they are family cars. And we know with families, you know, they're not all house trained, as my kids will testify to. So they spill things, they knock things, they hit things, they scratch things, they do all sorts of things in cars. So a lot of the surfaces actually are deliberately slightly hard, but they're very hard wearing. It looks really nice in here, by the way. It's they always do, but that isn't build quality. It's how this panel's all clicked together, how it's all put together, and it's brilliantly done. They're also great places to sit to drive, because you've got brilliant visibility in them. Massive wing mirrors, a low dash line, so you can actually see the bonnet, which is a miracle in modern cars, or relatively modern cars. But everything's working as it should. Sat nav, air conditioning, dual zone climate control systems. You can have different temperatures side to side, and lovely cold airs coming out. Heated seats, again, working exactly as they should. Then you've got this dash binnacle, which is classic Honda. I think Honda should always revert back to this, because this is it's just so simple. You've got two dials with a bit of information in the middle. You just look at them, the information you need is given to you straight away, then you're looking back at the road again. It's how it should be, but it's really nicely detailed and displayed. Then you've got this nice leather-bound steering wheel. It feels, so again, like the rest of the car, just shows virtually no wear in here at all. It's absolutely wonderful. This is a four-wheel drive car, although with Hondas you don't activate it, you don't push any buttons or pull any levers or do anything like that. It does it all for you, because Honda worked out very, very quickly that the vast majority of their customers would be doing what I'm doing here and now, driving in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive on. Because the problem with permanent four-wheel drive, of course, is it is on permanently, and that means basically you're going to be using more fuel, you're going to be putting more stress through the car mechanically, and you're going to get through your tyres more quickly. So, and the way it works is very simple. Should the front, because it runs in front wheel drive, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along the whole time, should it need to go into four wheel drive, it'll do so. It senses the front wheels losing grip, and it seamlessly brings in the rear wheels, and it is brilliant in operation. And I tow a caravan with our CRV. Sometimes it's quite muddy, and we've never come close to getting stuck with it. And also the fact that it's been used so infrequently gives it its reliability, because in nearly 3 decades selling these cars, we've never put a spanner on the four-wheel drive system of them. So in terms of the mechanical stuff, so they are very, very, very tough indeed. So at the start of the video, it's only brief. It's just to show the car operating. It drives faultlessly, absolutely beautifully. You can see why they really, really are sought after. It's a very, very high quality machine. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.